You were never supposed to matter, and that's exactly why you can finally rest, somewhere in a forgotten corner of an expanding universe on a pale blue rock orbiting an average star. You were born, not with purpose, not with reason, but with the breath of chance, a chemical accident wearing skin. And for years, you've been taught to matter, to leave a mark, to build, to win, to be remembered. But the stars above you, they do not care. Jupiter does not revolve around your mood. The sun does not rise for your ambition. The void does not weep when you fail. And yet, here you are, exhausted by the weight of being someone, burnt out by trying to be seen. Let me offer you this. You don't have to be special tonight. Let go. Slip beneath the tide of time. There is a strange kind of freedom in cosmic indifference. You see, this universe has no intention of loving you, but it will cradle you in silence if you finally stop asking it to explain itself. No divine scoreboard, no destiny, no scripted redemption arc, just stardust spinning for no one. And that is beautiful. Because if the universe doesn't care whether you win or lose, then you are finally free to just be. You are free to sleep, to fail, to change your mind, to vanish quietly and not be remembered. You don't owe this world anything, because it didn't ask you to exist. So tonight, let go of the need to be seen. Let go of the need to be right. Let go of the loop in your head that keeps replaying the same fears. You are not broken. You are not behind. You are not a mistake waiting to be fixed. You are a moment, a brief flicker of awareness passing through a universe that forgets everything eventually. You are allowed to close your eyes now, because when you stop trying to matter, you finally start to feel peace. This is not the end of you. This is the end of needing to be more than you already are. Breathe in, breathe out, float. The stars do not watch you, but they are always there. Now sleep. You've carried the weight of meaning long enough. What if I told you the universe doesn't hate you? It simply doesn't notice you, and in that absence of notice there is peace, entropy. It's the great law that governs everything, the slow, inevitable unraveling of all things. Stars explode, mountains crumble, bodies decay, memories dissolve into the fog of time. And yet, we fight it. You were raised to believe you must resist decay. That order is sacred, that control is power. But the universe has always whispered a different truth. Everything ends, everything must end, because in ending, something else is allowed to begin. The cells in your body are dying, even as you listen to this. Old skin is being shed, old thoughts are dissolving. Your identity is a dance between memory and decay. But this isn't a tragedy, this is freedom. Because what entropy really means is this: you do not have to hold everything together anymore. You are allowed to come undone. Let yourself unravel. Let the structures of who you were dissolve into stardust. Your worth is not tied to what you can hold on to. It is found in what you're willing to release. The star does not beg to shine longer. It simply burns, and when the time comes, it becomes something else: a white dwarf, a neutron core, a black hole, or a nursery for new stars. Nothing is wasted. Even the end becomes a beginning for something new. Why should you be different? Your collapse is not a failure. It's a step in the cycle. Every moment of exhaustion, every breakdown, every goodbye that crushed you, it all belonged. It all had to happen. Because the old you had to die so the quieter you could be born. You are not broken because you are tired. You are not weak because you let go. You are not falling apart. You are transforming. And no, it's not neat. It's not Instagrammable. It's not poetic in the way the world defines beauty. But in the language of stars, it is sacred. So tonight, let entropy carry your thoughts away. Let the unfinished to-do list evaporate. Let the old dreams flicker out. Let the noise become stillness. You are not here to keep the world spinning. It will spin without you. You are not the conductor of fate. You are a wave, and waves don't ask why they rise or fall. They simply move until they fade into the sea. You are allowed to fade tonight. No one is watching. Nothing is keeping score. And best of all, you lose nothing by resting. You gain the one thing this world cannot sell you: peace. Let go, and let entropy love you back. It will take what is no longer needed and give you space to become something else. Sleep now. You don't need to hold it all together anymore. You rush, you chase, you panic over clocks and calendars, but the stars do not hurry, and still they shine. Time. To humans, it feels like a wall always closing in. You're born into it, bound by it, running through it like a rat in a maze, hoping there's cheese at the end. But to the universe, time is strange, elastic, almost meaningless. A second here could be a century there. The light you see from a star tonight, it may have burned out 1,000,000 years ago. The cosmos doesn't operate on your schedule. It doesn't measure your life in hours, deadlines, or career milestones. It moves in cycles, orbits, expansions and contractions, breaths longer than entire civilizations. And in that cosmic rhythm, your sense of being behind is nothing but a misunderstanding. There is no such thing as late. You did not miss your chance. You are not out of time. The tree does not rush to bloom before spring. The moon does not compete with the sun. Why should you? Some flowers bloom at midnight. Some stars ignite just as galaxies die. Your path is not broken because it does not look like theirs. Your timing is not wrong just because it doesn't feel fast enough. You were not designed for speed. You were designed for depth. And depth requires stillness. Here's a truth few will tell you. You are not late. You are just living on a timescale that humans have forgotten how to honor. The world screams, hurry, compete, be productive. But the universe whispers, be slow, be still, be eternal. So tonight, stop running. Put down the guilt. Step out of the imaginary race. You were never supposed to keep up with anyone. You are not behind. You are just orbiting a different sun. When you were born, your heart beat without asking you. Your lungs knew how to breathe. Time wasn't something you feared. It was something you floated in. You can return to that now. You can slow down. Even if the world keeps spinning, you do not have to spin with it. You don't have to have everything figured out by age 25 or 35 or ever. You are not a deadline. You are not a checklist. You are a question mark wrapped in skin, and even the stars don't know all the answers. So why should you? Tonight, forget the clocks. Forget the timelines. Forget what they told you should be done by now. You have not failed. You are not late. You are just unfolding. And the universe will wait for you. It always has. When you sleep, time bends. Let it bend for you now. Let the minutes stretch like starlight across space. This moment is enough. You are enough. There is nowhere to be but right here. You call yourself by a name. You carry a story. You protect your identity like a fortress. But none of it is real. Not really. The ego is clever. It pretends to be you. It builds walls, attaches titles, collects likes, wears masks. I am a doctor. I am a failure. I am someone important. I am nobody. It doesn't matter what the words are. The ego clings to any label, as long as it keeps you afraid of being nothing. But here's the truth. You are not your job. You are not your thoughts. You are not the voice in your head that says you're not enough. That voice is just noise, static bouncing off the walls of an old satellite. It's not who you are. Who you really are has no name, no shape, no brand. You are awareness, a flicker of light, a moment of presence witnessing a story unfold, nothing more. You've spent your life playing roles, the achiever, the fixer, the good one, the smart one, the broken one. But tonight, you don't have to be any of them. You don't need to perform for the dark. There's no audience left, just you and the silence and the soft hum of stars you'll never see. Let go of your name. Let go of the image you built. Let go of the constant editing of yourself. None of it will survive cosmic time anyway. The galaxy does not care if you were the best at anything. It only asks, did you see the sky before you left? You are allowed to take off the costume now. You are allowed to be no one, just for a little while. No pressure to be wise. No pressure to be brave. No pressure to be healed. You don't need to fix yourself tonight. You were never broken. You are just pretending to be solid in a universe made entirely of change. Breathe in, breathe out. The person you think you are is just a story being told by the brain. And stories shift. You can let this one fade, and let a new one bloom later. Or maybe, you can just rest in the space between stories. No plot, no character, just quiet existence. You are not here to prove yourself. You are here to be. Not to be good, not to be worthy. Just to be. And right now, being is enough. So lie still. Let the ego dissolve into the darkness. Let the silence swallow the noise. There is no one left to impress, no one left to disappoint. Just the quiet hum of the universe saying, "You were never supposed to carry so much. Take off the costume, let your name fall away. Sleep, little star. The universe will remember what you forgot. You are made of death, the calcium in your bones, the iron in your blood, the oxygen in your lungs. All of it, born in the belly of a dying star. This is not poetic exaggeration, this is science. Long before you ever opened your eyes, before your ancestors stood upright, before Earth was even a planet, a star died, and in its death, it gave birth to everything you now are. That death, that explosion, that collapse into light and heat and silence was your beginning. You are a byproduct of cosmic destruction. You are what happens when the universe lets go of its brightest things. Stars do not fear death. They do not cling to the edge of burning. They expand, collapse, and become something else. A supernova is not an end. It is a transformation. From the ashes of one light comes the potential for billions more. And now, here you are, walking, breathing, dreaming in a body built from the ruins of 1,000 suns. You are literally made of the aftermath, and that is beautiful. So when you fear endings, when your heart tightens at the thought of change, remember this. You are change. You are stardust rearranged. You are the evidence that even destruction can give rise to life. The pain you've survived, it's not proof of failure. It's the echo of the stars you're made from. Everything that broke you was also carving space for something new. Everything that left you was clearing room for something more true. Even now, as you lie in the dark, still, small, quiet, your cells carry the memory of the stars. They know how to endure. They know how to release. They know how to rest. There is no shame in needing to collapse. There is no failure in rest. The stars do it too. Sometimes the only way forward is to explode, to shatter, to burn, to disappear into silence, so that something ancient within you can reassemble into something wiser. So sleep now, child of ruins, child of galaxies, child of dust. You do not need to rise tonight. You do not need to glow. Let the light inside you dim. Let the structure of you fall inward. You will not vanish. You will only transform, like the stars before you, like the cosmos always has, like all things that dare to surrender. You are not here to shine forever. You are here to burn for a while. And when the time comes to become the soil of someone else's universe, there is no shame in being temporary. That is how all beautiful things exist. You've been told to fight, to resist, to stand tall against the void. But what if the peace you're looking for comes not from fighting, but from finally laying down the sword? There is a difference between quitting and surrender. Quitting is when you believe the story is over. Surrender is when you realize you were never supposed to be the one writing it alone. You are not the author of the cosmos. You are not the architect of fate. You are a ripple, a breath, a single moment within a dream far older than you can imagine. You've carried so much: expectations, plans, regrets, masks, memories, grudges. You've spent years trying to hold it all together, as if peace was something earned by tension. But the universe doesn't operate through control. It dances, it collapses, it improvises. Planets form not through perfect order, but through chaos, collisions, dust, gravity, patience. Surrender to that rhythm. Let go of the illusion that you are supposed to know where this is all going. You are allowed to be lost. You are allowed to feel small. You are allowed to rest without having the next 10 steps figured out. Surrender isn't weak. It's sacred. It's the moment you say, I don't know what happens next, and that's okay. It's the deep sigh of a soul that has spent too long pretending to be in charge. It's coming home to the place inside you that was never trying to win anything. Surrender doesn't mean apathy. It doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you stop clinging. You stop begging reality to match your desires. You allow things to fall apart. Not because you gave up, but because you finally saw that things fall apart anyway. Everything does. And that's okay. Because when you stop holding everything so tightly, your hands become free to feel again, to open, to catch the wind. So tonight, surrender. Surrender the voice that tells you you're not enough. Surrender the timelines, the pressure, the need to get there. There is no there is only here. And it's gentle if you let it be. Lie still, loosen your grip. Feel your body sink into the gravity of this moment. You're not failing. You're arriving. You are not a warrior tonight. You are not a goal. You are not a puzzle to be solved. You are a guest in this moment. And the universe is your host. You don't have to earn your stay. Just breathe. Just be. The stars ask nothing of you. Why ask so much of yourself? The storm feels real when you're inside it. Loud, heavy, endless. But all weather passes. You are not the storm. You are the sky it moves through. Your thoughts can feel so final, so convincing. I'm not good enough. I'll never figure it out. No one understands me. It's too late. You've probably heard them today. Maybe you're hearing them now. But here's the truth. Thoughts are not facts. They are patterns. They are echoes. They are weather. Just passing phenomena in the atmosphere of your awareness. What is always present, beneath every anxious spiral, beneath every doubt, beneath every loud narrative of failure or fear, is stillness. Stillness that does not move with the storm. Stillness that watches, waits, allows. That stillness one is you. Not the noise, not the thoughts, not the judgment. You are the canvas, not the paint. Imagine for a moment that your mind is a vast sky. Your thoughts, clouds, some heavy, some light, some barely noticeable, but all of them move, all of them change, and none of them define the sky itself. No matter how dark the storm becomes, the sky is untouched. It remains wide, open, free. That is your awareness, unshaken, infinite. Your anxious thought, just a gust. Your shame, just rain. Your panic, a passing storm. Let them pass. Let them come. Let them go. You don't need to stop them. You don't need to argue with them. Just watch. Let the weather be weather. You've been taught to believe that peace means having no thoughts, no fear, no worry. But real peace is not the absence of weather. It's the understanding that weather cannot harm the sky. So tonight, you don't need to fix your mind. You don't need to silence it. You don't need to fight it. Let it be noisy. Let it storm. You are the space it all moves through. You are the openness that holds it all without resistance. Breathe. You're allowed to have messy thoughts. You're allowed to feel tangled. It does not make you broken. The clouds are not a problem. They're part of the system. They bring rain. They move. They leave. So when the next thought rises, even the scary ones, just notice it. Oh, a storm is passing through. That's all. No judgment. No shame. You are still the sky. The stars don't apologize when they burn out. The clouds don't explain themselves. Neither should you. You don't need to control your mind. You only need to witness it and rest. Let it think. Let it talk. You don't have to believe it all. Sleep now, beneath the clouds, inside the sky, as yourself. The moon has no audience, no followers, no applause, and yet she rises every night without fail. You spend so much of your life trying to be seen, to be understood, appreciated, acknowledged. You work harder. You say the right things. You shrink or stretch yourself to fit into other people's versions of worthy. But here's the secret the moon knows. You don't need an audience to glow. You don't need recognition to be real. You don't need approval to be whole. Think about it. The moon pulls entire oceans, and never once has she bragged about it. She changes shape every few nights and doesn't apologize for being different. Some nights she disappears, some nights she's full, some nights she's just a sliver. And yet, we still look for her, even when she isn't visible. That's not because she tries, it's because she simply is. No performance, no strategy, just presence. You do not need to earn your place. You do not need to stay full all the time. You do not need to be seen to be sacred. There is beauty in being unseen. There is power in being quiet. The flower that blooms in the dark is no less a miracle than the one under the sun. You're allowed to grow where no one claps, where no one notices, where no one knows, because your value doesn't live in their eyes. It lives in your being. The moon doesn't generate her own light. She reflects it. She borrows her glow from the sun. And yet, when we see her, we don't think reflected. We think luminous. That's you. You don't have to manufacture greatness. You don't have to force yourself to be radiant. You just have to show up, even if it's only a fraction of you, even if you're just hanging on, even if all you can offer is a whisper of light. That's enough. You do not need to be full tonight. You do not need to be impressive. You do not need to shine for anyone. If you're tired, rest. If you're quiet, be still. If you're empty, wait. The moon doesn't beg the tides to rise. She just keeps orbiting. And somehow, that's enough to move the oceans. Stop performing. Stop trying to be profound. Even the moon glows when no one is watching. You are not a project. You are not a spectacle. You are not a product to be consumed. You are a being, breathing, becoming, unfolding. And right now, you are allowed to dim. So sleep now, half-lit, barely holding on, gentle fragment of the infinite. You are enough, even if no one notices. Especially then. Healing isn't linear. It's not fast. It's not clean. And it's not something you owe to anyone, not even yourself. There is a quiet pressure that lives in modern life, a pressure to get better, to recover, to fix yourself, to make sense of your pain, and then neatly package it into a story of triumph. But that's not how the cosmos works. The universe is not tidy. Stars don't die quietly. Galaxies don't move in straight lines. And healing is not a straight road. You are allowed to be unfinished. You are allowed to be a mess in motion. You are allowed to be a beautiful contradiction, both broken and blooming at the same time. Some nights you'll feel whole. Some nights you'll feel like static and smoke. Both are okay. Healing isn't about returning to the person you used to be. It's about slowly becoming someone new with every breath, every scar, every moment of softness you allow yourself. You don't have to rush. You're not running out of time. You don't have to reach some imaginary finish line where everything makes sense and nothing ever hurts again. That place doesn't exist. And if it did, it would be empty. Because to be human is to ache, to break, to rebuild, to rest over and over again. That is not failure, that is nature. Even the stars take billions of years to be born, to collapse, to reform, and none of them apologize for how long it takes. So why should you? Who taught you that your pain was something to hide? Who told you that your softness was shameful? Who convinced you that you had to have it all together before you were worthy of rest? Tonight, give yourself permission to not be okay. Not as a crisis, but as a fact of your being. You are a creature in process, a soul under construction, a nebula halfway to becoming a star. That is sacred. That is enough. You don't have to glow brightly tonight. A flicker is enough. A heartbeat is enough. One breath, taken slowly and without guilt, is enough. Your healing is not an assignment. It is not a competition. It is not a currency to buy approval. It is a slow, sacred unfolding. And you are right on time. So rest. Not because you've earned it, but because you exist. Because you've made it this far. Because being alive is enough work for today. You don't have to be healed. You only have to be honest. And right now, honesty sounds like I'm tired. That's more than enough. One day the last person who knew your name will forget it. One day every photo of you will fade. One day your voice will no longer echo anywhere. And that's not tragic. It's freedom. There's a quiet desperation woven into human life. To be remembered. To build something that lasts. To leave a mark. To not vanish completely. And yet, on a long enough timeline, everything you've ever touched will dissolve. Your childhood bedroom, bulldozed. Your social media, deleted. Your favorite book, discontinued. Your entire civilization, just dust orbiting a silent star. To some, that's terrifying. To others, that's peace. Because if nothing lasts, then nothing is required to. You don't have to build a legacy. You don't have to be impressive. You don't have to perform immortality. You just have to be here, right now, fully, gently, honestly. You were never meant to carry eternity on your shoulders. You were never built to be permanent. Even stars die. Even black holes evaporate. Even galaxies collide and disappear. So why should you be afraid of being forgotten? You are not here to be remembered. You are here to be. To feel the warmth of sunlight on your cheek for no other reason than it exists. To laugh with someone you'll never see again. To cry in the dark because something deep inside you moved. That's it. No history book will record it. No monument will carry your name. And still, that moment was real, and that is enough. The universe does not keep score. It does not reward effort or punish failure. It simply unfolds. And you, tiny flicker of sentience, are part of that unfolding. Not special, not insignificant, just included. That's the gift. You don't need to make a dent. You don't need to leave a crater. You are allowed to live a quiet life. You are allowed to love a few people deeply and then vanish into sleep. You are allowed to walk this earth without needing the world to remember your footsteps, because one day the world will end too. Maybe the point was never to be remembered. Maybe the point was just to notice. Notice the color of the sky, the way your breath fogs up a window, the way your heart still hurts when it remembers. That noticing, that's life. Not legacy, not permanence, just presence. So tonight, let go of the need to matter forever. Let go of the pressure to be known, to be praised, to be anything more than what you already are. A quiet miracle, a fading echo, a momentary light in a vast, silent dark. And somehow, that's beautiful, because it means you are free. Everything you are is built from endings. Every cell in your body is the product of death, of decay, of change, of something that was once alive and no longer is. You are a living archive of things that cease to be. Your bones are stardust from supernovae that blew themselves apart. Your breath is borrowed from trees that outlived empires. The thoughts you think are made possible by the death of silence. Everything that is you comes from something that isn't. And that's not depressing, that's divine. In the universe, endings are not failures, they're just transitions. Stars collapse so black holes can form. Black holes evaporate so space can expand. Planets are bombarded into oceans. Mountains crumble into beaches. Endings are not the opposite of beginnings, they are beginnings. You are living proof. Think of all the versions of you that have already ended. The child you were, ended. The beliefs you held 5 years ago, ended. The relationships, the dreams, the fears, so many versions of you have already died. And yet, here you are, still breathing, still becoming. You've already survived so many small apocalypses. You've buried parts of yourself you thought you could never live without, and somehow life kept unfolding. That's not weakness, that's cosmic resilience. You are made of endings, and still, you go on. So, let go. Let the version of you that no longer fits fade away. Let the dreams that no longer nourish you burn gently in the fire of transformation. Let the idea that you must stay the same die a peaceful, necessary death. You are not here to remain. You are here to evolve. Every ending inside you is sacred. Every heartbreak, a doorway. Every goodbye, a space for breath. Every collapse, a space for something new to rise. The universe doesn't mourn what it changes. It just changes. It doesn't cling, it doesn't rewind, it just continues. You too are allowed to begin again, not by force, but by surrender. You don't have to rebuild exactly what was. You don't have to become who you were. You only have to listen to the quiet inside you that is ready to let go, not out of bitterness, but out of wisdom, out of trust in the deeper rhythm that pulses through everything. You are made of endings. You are a galaxy of goodbyes, and yet, here you are, still glowing. That is not an accident. That is your nature. You've been trying so hard, trying to be good, trying to be enough, trying to fix everything, control everything, hold everything together. But what if you didn't have to? Look up at the stars tonight. Do you see them worrying? Do you see them rushing? They burn without effort. They shine without self-judgment. They don't ask if they're worthy of glowing. They simply do. You weren't born to hustle for your worth. You weren't born to justify your existence. You were born to exist. That's it. There is a strange beauty in giving up, not in defeat, but in surrender, in letting go of the endless need to prove yourself to a world that is too busy to notice anyway, in realizing that being alive is not a job, it is not a performance, it is a miracle. You don't have to constantly improve, you don't have to optimize every second, you don't have to carry the weight of everyone's expectations, not even your own. The stars don't do more than they're made to. They don't apologize for burning out. Some live long lives. Some collapse early. Some pulse in silence for billions of years without anyone seeing them. And all of them matter. All of them are enough, just like you. We've been sold the myth of achievement, that if you just try hard enough, you'll be worthy. You'll be loved. You'll be safe. But the universe doesn't work like that. You are not loved because you try hard. You are not worthy because you check every box. You are loved because you are part of the whole. You are worthy because you exist. Take a breath. Really. Take one now. In and out. Notice that nothing exploded because you paused. The world did not end because you stopped pushing. You are allowed to rest, not as a reward, but as a right. You are allowed to be still, to move slowly, to not have a plan. You are allowed to be soft, to be uncertain, to be messy, not because you've earned the right, but because it's always been yours. The stars don't fill out productivity journals. The moon doesn't worry about deadlines. And you? You are made of the same things. You are the result of 13.8 billion years of cosmic unfolding. You are stardust with a nervous system. You don't owe the universe your exhaustion. You are not here to win at being human. You are here to be human. And sometimes that means simply resting while the stars spin above you, utterly unconcerned with your productivity. So rest, let go. Fall into sleep not as an escape, but as a return to what you already are. Enough, without trying. The stars don't need you to try so hard, and neither do you. Either. You were never built for permanence, never designed to last forever. And that's not a flaw, that's the poetry. Everything in the universe decays, everything collapses, slowly or suddenly, and you, this body, this mind, this name, are no different. You are not broken because you are impermanent. You are beautiful because you are temporary. We fear endings, we fight aging, we numb ourselves to the fact that we are dying every second. But what if that wasn't tragic? What if the truth of your impermanence was the very thing that gave your life its warmth? Imagine if you knew you would live forever. Would you still hold your lover's hand like that? Would you still watch sunsets with awe? Would a baby's first laugh feel sacred? The reason life feels magical is because it doesn't last. And that's the point. There is a strange mercy in knowing you are temporary. It frees you from having to make every moment perfect. It allows you to stop pretending you're in control. It invites you to fall in love with things as they are, even the parts that hurt, especially the parts that hurt, because even pain ends. You are like that, a flash across time, a momentary arrangement of atoms that will never happen again in quite the same way, and that's breathtaking. There has never been this version of you before. There will never be this version again. And so, every laugh, every scar, every mistake, Every touch of kindness you give matters infinitely, because it is finite. We spend so much of our lives trying to build things that last. Legacies, names, followers, monuments. But the universe is not impressed by permanence. It is not built to preserve, it is built to flow. Everything ends, even stars, even galaxies, even time itself may one day unwind. You are allowed to join the dance. You don't need to carve your name into eternity. You only need to be here now, breathing, witnessing, loving. That's enough. You were never meant to last forever. You were meant to shimmer for a little while, and then rest. And in that resting, you return to the infinite. The atoms that once formed your skin will become part of oceans. The breath you exhale tonight will feed a forest. The warmth of your kindness may ripple out for generations without your name ever being known. And that is more than enough. You were never meant to last forever, so stop trying, live fully, break gently, rest often, love like it's the only thing that might survive you, because maybe it is, and when your time comes, as it will for all things, go softly, not with fear, but with grace. It's not the light that teaches us. It's the quiet, the space between things, the silence between the stars. You live in a world addicted to noise, notifications, news, narratives, everyone speaking, everyone performing, but the universe whispers. Its most sacred truths are not shouted, they're not tweeted, they're not published in journals or carved into stone. They are found in stillness. We think of space as emptiness, but it's not empty, it's quiet. And in that quiet lives everything. All the secrets, all the beauty, all the permission to be exactly what you are, without explanation. The silence between the stars is not dead. It's alive. It listens. It waits. And sometimes, it speaks. Have you ever sat with yourself long enough to hear it? Not your thoughts, not your fears, not the echo of someone else's expectations, but the deep, timeless silence beneath all of that, the one that says, you are okay. You are allowed. You don't have to do more. The silence that doesn't ask questions. It answers them, without words. In the quiet, you realize the universe never demanded your performance. It never asked you to be impressive, or productive, or perfect. It simply asked you to exist, to breathe, to feel, to rest. You are not a machine. You are a ripple of stardust and soul, and that ripple needs still water to be seen clearly. Every night, the cosmos plays a symphony of silence. Not absence, but presence. A kind of presence too vast for words, too ancient for language, too honest for noise. And in that space, you are allowed to stop pretending. You don't have to be wise. You don't have to be strong. You don't even have to heal. You only have to be silent long enough to remember that you are part of something immeasurable, and always have been. The silence between the stars is not empty. It is full of everything you've ever needed to hear, but only if you stop long enough to listen. The universe doesn't speak in sentences. It speaks in sensation, in breath, in tears that rise for no reason, in goosebumps on your arms when you stare at the moon too long. That's not nothing. That's not background noise. That is the voice of the cosmos reaching through your skin to remind you that you are never alone. Tonight, as you lie in the dark, let the silence cradle you. Let it speak to the part of you that never needed fixing, as only remembering. You are not just in the universe. You are the universe, listening to itself, and it loves to hear you breathe. One day everything you've ever done will be forgotten. Every name, every word, every monument gone. That's not a threat. It's a promise, a gift, a sacred release. The stars will forget your name. The universe will not remember what you looked like, or how many likes you got, or whether you won or lost. But that doesn't mean you were meaningless. Our culture is obsessed with legacy. Make your mark. Leave something behind. Be remembered. But the cosmos has no shrine for our achievements. It does not build statues. It builds stars, brief fires in an infinite dark. Even the brightest stars burn out. Even the most massive galaxies collapse. What matters is not whether they're remembered, but how they burned while they were here. You don't have to be remembered to be real. You don't have to be eternal to matter. You don't have to etch your name into the face of time to have lived a beautiful life. Your worth is not measured by permanence. It is measured by presence. Think about this. Some of the most important moments in your life were invisible to everyone else. The kindness no one saw. The battle you fought alone. The day you chose to keep going when everything inside you said stop. Those things will not make history books, but they made you. And that is enough. You will fade. So will I. So will everyone. And in that truth is a strange, sacred permission to stop performing, to stop striving for cosmic applause, to live a quiet, radiant life. Not because the universe demands it, but because you get to. Because you were lucky enough to open your eyes for one brief moment in the middle of everything. You don't need to be remembered to be complete. You only need to be present while you are here. The stars will forget your name. But while you are alive, you can whisper kindness into the world. You can hold someone's hand, you can laugh, you can forgive, you can cry beneath the moon and let it wash your grief like a tide. You can live, not for legacy but for love. And when you go, you won't vanish. You will return to soil, to starlight, to the deep song of silence that birthed you. And that silence, the one that forgets your name, will remember your essence, not in memory, but in matter, in energy, in ripple. The stars will forget your name, but the universe will carry your breath forever, and maybe, just maybe, that's all you ever needed. Let go. Let it all go. The pressure, the proving, the story you were trying to live up to. You don't owe the universe anything. It doesn't require you to hustle. It doesn't demand that you be perfect. It never asked for a resume. The cosmos spins with or without your ambition. It expands quietly, effortlessly, without ego. What if you lived like that? Not empty, but open. So much of your suffering comes from holding on to expectations, to old pain, to the version of you thought you had to be. But all of that is wind. You are trying to build a house out of clouds, and the only way to feel peace is to stop gripping what was never yours to hold. Let go of needing to be understood. Let go of needing to be right. Let go of the guilt you've kept like a pet in your pocket. Let go of the anger that poisons only your blood. Let go of the illusion that you were ever in control. That was never your role. You were never the author. You were always the page. When you stop clinging, you begin to flow. You become what the universe already is, effortless, unforced, vast. Let go of your need to win. Let go of your desire to be seen. Let go of the exhausting pursuit of being someone, because the truth is, you already are. Not a brand, not a title, not a curated highlight reel, just you. Quiet, present, here. There is no prize for who holds on the longest. No cosmic trophy for suffering through your own expectations. You don't need to earn rest. You don't need to deserve peace. You just need to allow it. And yes, letting go means loss. It means grief. It means saying goodbye to identities, attachments, and illusions. But in the empty space that remains, something unexpected appears. Stillness, warmth, a kind of soft, invisible joy that doesn't need a reason to exist, like sunlight falling on the face of someone who finally stopped pretending. Let go, let it all go, because the moment you do, you'll remember. You were never meant to carry it all. You were meant to experience this life, not control it, to dance through it like flame, to weep through it like rain, to laugh through it like wind chasing its own shadow. You were meant to feel deeply, then release, to love deeply, then release, to live deeply, and release. You are not a container, you are a current. Let yourself flow, let go of what you thought you had to be, and step gently into what you already are. A piece of the universe, learning to rest. You are not the center, you are not being watched, and that is the most freeing truth you'll ever hear. There is no cosmic spotlight on you, no divine camera crew filming your every move, no celestial scoreboard tracking your wins and failures. The universe is not judging you, it's not grading you, it's not waiting to punish you or reward you based on how good you've been. It's simply being. And you? You're simply part of it. This may feel terrifying at first. For so long, you've been told that someone is watching, that you need to perform, that you're under observation, that your choices are being evaluated. But what if no one is watching? What if there's no audience? What if you could drop the act completely because there's no one expecting a show? You are not on trial. This life is not a courtroom. You are not a defendant. You are a moment, a breath, a temporary gathering of stardust shaped into a body just long enough to feel the wind. And in that realization is the ultimate permission to stop performing, to stop proving, to stop pretending. You don't need to impress the sky. It doesn't care what you wear, or how much you've achieved, or whether you meditate enough, or what other people think of you. You could fall apart entirely, and the stars would still rise. You could lose your job, your title, your sense of direction, and the galaxies would keep spinning. Not because you don't matter, but because you were never meant to carry the weight of mattering to everything. What would you do if no one was watching? What would you become if there was no pressure to be anything? Who would you be without the need to impress? These are not questions of abandonment. These are questions of return to your natural self, to your untamed center, to the you that existed before applause. The universe is not watching, but you are. And maybe that's enough. You are the witness. You are the observer. You are the only one who truly sees your quiet victories, and that's all that's required. No gods, no cameras, no endless invisible judgment, just your own presence, and the deep, restful knowing that you are enough because you are here. The universe is not watching, but it holds you, lovingly, lightly, like a dream. So let go of the pressure, let go of the judgment, let go of the invisible audience you've carried for too long. The stage is empty now. Step off. Come home to yourself. No script, no show, just silence and stars. You don't have to fight the dark. You don't have to earn your rest. Sleep is not weakness. Sleep is surrender. And surrender is not defeat. It is alignment. To sleep is to say, I trust the universe enough to stop trying. It's the body's way of bowing to chaos, to entropy, to the quiet rhythms that don't care how hard you tried today. Every creature on earth sleeps, even the ones with no homes, no status, no calendars, no goals. They sleep because they know something we've forgotten. That rest is not a luxury. It's a law, like gravity, like breath. It pulls you whether you deserve it or not. You've spent all day holding yourself together, showing up, holding back tears, checking boxes, being strong when you didn't want to be. But you're here now, and the universe isn't asking anything more of you. Not now, not tonight. You don't have to fix anything before you fall asleep. You don't have to solve the puzzle. You don't have to finish the race. You can stop mid-sentence, mid-question, mid-brokenness, and still be worthy of silence, of softness, of sleep. We've made sleep transactional, a reward for productivity, a trophy for exhaustion. But sleep was never meant to be earned. It was meant to be received, like moonlight, like a lullaby, like forgiveness. You don't have to deserve this moment. You just have to allow it. Let yourself unravel. Let the knots come loose. Let the masks slip off. Let the armor fall. You were never meant to be invincible. You were meant to be real. And real things get tired. Real things need to stop, to fold in, to dissolve into the dark so they can return with softness. You don't need to fear what happens when you sleep. You don't disappear. You return to stillness, to your original shape, to the quiet hum beneath your thoughts. There is no deadline in this moment, no noise, no shame, only gravity, only the pull toward surrender. Sleep is not the end. It is the pause, the soft reset, the in-between. It's where the universe holds you in a way you didn't know you needed. You are safe here, not because you built walls, but because you stopped running, not because you figured it all out, but because you allowed yourself to not need answers right now. Let go now. Let go of the tension you've carried in your chest all day. Let go of the voice that says you should be doing more, you've done enough. The stars are not keeping score. Sleep, not to escape, but to return, to silence, to softness, to yourself. What if this is it? What if this moment is all you get, not in a hopeless way, not in a tragic, panicked gasp for more, but in a soft, reverent whisper? What if this, right here, is everything? The breath you're taking now, the pause between thoughts, the quiet throb of your heart under your ribs. What if there's nothing else you have to chase? You've been told to strive, to build, to grow, to evolve. And yes, all of that has its place, but tonight is not for progress. Tonight is for presence, for the sacred art of being, not becoming, not achieving, just being. Because maybe this is the miracle, that out of all the particles and probabilities in the universe, you got to be here, now, even just once, even just for a flicker. We spend so much time preparing for life, we forget to actually live it. We hoard intentions, we plan futures, we design dreams that always seem just one step ahead. But what if this quiet moment, this inhale, this tiny fragment of now was not the prelude but the masterpiece? What if you stopped asking where it's all going, and simply said, I'm here, and that's enough? You don't need to be extraordinary. You don't need to leave a legacy. You don't need to prove your existence to a universe that isn't grading you. You showed up, you breathed, you hurt, you loved, you rested. And maybe, just maybe, that's the whole point. Not to be eternal, but to be real, not to be remembered, but to be present. What if this is it? Would that be so bad? If tonight was the only moment you ever truly lived in, wouldn't you want to live it deeply? To feel the mattress beneath you, the temperature of the room, the quiet miracle of lungs filling and emptying without command, to feel your own aliveness, without needing it to be dramatic or cinematic, just alive. You don't need a grand purpose tonight. You don't need a mission statement. You only need this breath, this stillness, this awareness that you are not a mistake, that your existence, however fleeting, is valid simply because it is. You are not here to win. You are not here to conquer. You are not here to impress. You are here to notice, to feel, to wonder, to rest. And maybe that's the entire cosmic secret, that life isn't a riddle to be solved, but a moment to be witnessed. So let the questions go. Let the striving soften. Let yourself dissolve into the peace of just being. You're not missing anything. This is it. And it's beautiful. And now, the stars dim their glow. The planets slow their spin. The cosmos holds its breath, not to mourn you, but to cradle you. Because it's time. Time to stop wondering. Time to stop searching. Time to stop trying to figure it all out. You've done enough. You've carried enough. You've been enough. There is nothing left to earn here. No more lines to memorize. No more roles to play. Only this, a quiet return to nothing. There's something sacred about sleep. It is death's gentle cousin, not the end, but the intermission. A small death. A beautiful one. A chance to vanish without fear, knowing you'll return softer than before. Each night, you dissolve into darkness like a drop of ink into water, shapeless, free, held by something larger than yourself. You don't resist. You don't struggle. You just go. Because somewhere inside, you trust the darkness. You trust the silence. You trust that you will still exist even when you are not thinking, not striving, not awake. It's okay to go now, to stop, to let the edges blur, to let the weight drop, to let the thoughts drift like leaves down a cosmic river with no destination. You are not lost. You are returning. Tonight, the universe is not asking you to dream. It's asking you to surrender, to allow this moment to be enough, to allow your breath to be a lullaby, to allow your existence to be complete, even in stillness. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are not in danger. You are safe. Right here. Right now. The cosmos is not watching you like a judge. It is holding you like a parent. Not because you're perfect, but because you are. You are enough without achievement. You are sacred without attention. You are eternal even when you're sleeping. So close your eyes. Let gravity do the rest. Let the day fade like vapor. You don't need to get over anything. You don't need to make the most of tomorrow. You don't need to rise like some phoenix reborn. You just need to rest. And when you wake, if you wake, you'll still be part of the whole. The universe will still be unfolding. Stars will still be dying and being born. And you will still belong to it all, without question, without effort, without proof. The universe doesn't care. And that's beautiful. Because in that indifference there is no pressure, no test, no score, no meaning to manufacture. Just this, you here, now, drifting into the most sacred form of peace you've ever known. Good night, Stardust. You don't need to do anything else. Sleep. You are home. If this story gave you peace, let it live inside you. And when you return to the waking world, return slowly. Subscribe to this channel for more sleep stories whispered by the universe itself. Let's drift again. Soon.